What about that kid?
Yeah, we're gonna go ask it.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Oh, sure.
Have you ever read Shakespeare?
And what do you think about women and like how he portrays women in his plays and in
What do you think about women in Shakespeare?
Like the way that he treats a woman, he treats them like basically, well, I should have used the word, not like lower class a little bit.
kind of portrayed as like the servants or whatever. Not, I don't know.
Men are superior in general.
Women are definitely superior. You got that?
Women historically just haven't been known to either be very active in certain conversations or to have certain positions either socially or even intellectually.
I saw her as, like, for instance, in the first scene, I saw her as really stern towards Hamlet rather than comforting him about his father's death.
Okay, so how do you think I should say this? This is the first scene where you see Gertrude, so I want to set her up.
You're not really comforting me. You're more like, dude, come on, just get over this already.
She's acting kind of insensitive to his feelings.
It's not necessarily no contact that you can have, but it's more like come on, get with it, you know. Just like I'm over it, so should you. Even though really you probably shouldn't be over it,
But they are like royal family, like they're royal family, so they can't just think about themselves. They have to think about the country, so they do have to move on to like protect their whole country, right?
Well, I think instead of thinking about like everybody else, like she thinks about herself, not really anybody else.
And right now, Hamlet has nothing to do with the country because Hamlet's not king. So Hamlet can spend whatever amount of time he wants mourning.
He's the image of the country, kind of like the whole family is the image of the country. He can't just be mourning, so Gertrude is like, be quiet, I don't want us to look weak as a family, right?
she's.
And I think it also shows like her standpoint of how she's looking out for herself. She's not.
You're not concerned about my well-being.
And her well-being depends on you because if you're revolting, then I could get in trouble.
Exactly.
So you need to shape up so that I still maintain power.
Unite the family, keep them together instead of all broken apart, right?
So how is it the clouds still hang on you?
Yeah, and then I'll be like something like.
Yeah.
Not so, my lord. I'm too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled eye seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common that all that lives must die, passing from nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular to thee?
Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems.
I don't know, like, so what do you guys think? I don't know, in that scene where they're talking about, or where Gertrude goes over and kind of corrects Claudius on his mistake about their names and everything.
Well, first, I think it's kind of disrespectful. She believes that she has power and that she's able to correct him because not only does she correct her husband, but she also corrects the king. And that's something that women would never be able to do back then. But
Because like in that time, men like ruled over women, especially husbands ruled over their wives.
She's willing to step up in front of other people, and like it shows how she takes initiative.
And I think her attention to detail is something that like first reveals her power to us when we start reading the book.
and like how she knows the names of Guildenstern and Rosencrantz. She knows who is who. So that's basically like she's the one who planned out the whole like situations, and she's basically the one that's calling the shots.
I mean, it's a borderline insult. Anyone who, I mean, if you're gonna go and correct someone, you gotta at least have some amount of.
That's true. Some kind of like guts. Like you're not someone that's weak isn't like just gonna go like correct someone else. It portrays her like not submissive side, so she's not just standing around and just going with whatever Claudius said.
Thank you, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thank you, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz.
And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Go, some of you, and bring these gentlemen to where Hamlet is.
So, Act 3, Scene 4. This is the part when Queen Gertrude is like, no more, stop talking, Hamlet, because you're accusing me of stuff.
How do you guys think I should portray the queen?
Okay, so then we were debating whether or not she's gonna say no more, as in like.
As in she's like pleading him to like take mercy on her,
or whether she's commanding him to.
Well, I think in a way you're actually see what I'm doing as Hamlet. I'm sort of like you said. So when you as Gertrude, being the strong woman that you are, you're gonna come back at me and you're gonna say like, Hamlet, stop.
But I think she's like demanding, like no more, like you cannot talk to me like that. You're my son, you know? What do you think? She still doesn't let him like walk all over her. She still like asserts her position.
As she keeps talking to him, her phrases get like shorter and shorter, almost like she's becoming like more agitated with him.
It's no more, and then no more, sweet Hamlet, and then sweet Hamlet, and then no more, and then she's gonna like turn around and just like shout at him. And right? Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Because she's very mad.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more.
A murderer and a villain! A slave that has not 20th part the tide of your president, Lord. A vice of kings. A cutpurse of the empire and the rule. That from a shelf the precious diadem stole.
No more!
Act 4, Scene 1. That is where
is so solid, Jessica.
Gertrude tells Claudius that Hamlet killed Polonius. And previous to that, in Act 3, she promises Hamlet that she's not gonna tell, and then she goes and does it anyway.
So by not doing what Hamlet asked her or told her to do, she's pretty much just making her own decisions and showing that she's independent.
She doesn't just blindly believe what everyone else is telling her is the best. She's kind of thinking of her. She's thinking for herself. This is the best decision to make in order to make things come out, well, at least the way she wants.
Okay, one more time.
Lord, what I have seen tonight.
What? Gertrude, how does Hamlet?
Mad as a sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier, and in his lawless fit behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his rapier and cries, a rat, and in this brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. So well, it's basically whether or not she's doing it to spite him or not, basically. So he's saying don't do it. She is kind of taking the liberty on her own and just ignoring him and just saying, you know what, I'm going to drink this despite what you say.
But I think what's important is the fact that Claudius tells her not to and she does it anyway.
Yeah.
So like she's definitely not being controlled by him. It doesn't really matter to her what he tells her to do.
I mean,
she's gonna do what she wants anyway.
Not only is it her husband, it's also the king. That time you had to follow that person. You were basically obligated to follow either the king's order or your husband's order, because you didn't really have a choice back then. But apparently Gertrude does, so.
I pray, pardon.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
Okay, so a lot of people have the perception that women are weak and submissive and they don't really have a say for themselves and they don't stand up for themselves, and they've sort of gained this reputation because they haven't been able to stand up for themselves, and I don't know, their reputation puts them as weak and they're only housewives and things like that, but reputations are just history in rumor form. You can always change it, and I think that's what Shakespeare does in his play Hamlet. He portrays Gertrude as someone who is strong and is able to stand up to herself and to her husband, and I think that shows it shows that women who read the play can take from it that they can be strong too, and they have the opportunity to go out there.
But the fact that he chooses to give this kind of power to some women, I think it's a good way to show that female characters do have the power, the ownership.
And so I think it encourages other women to be strong when they read about Gertrude and